Imagine yourself being able to ride wide open roads with the wind hitting your face, your hands, your body, your legs, and also doing all this while getting this emotion of freedom. But not only that, you can also do this while being much more cost efficient, having a better carbon footprint, and having a better mobility in congested areas. This is important to know because, in my opinion, motorcycles should be a transport that every single person in the world should own at least one. Motorcycles tend to be more cost efficient because a used motorcycle can cost you around $1,000 to $15,000. For example, my motorcycle cost me $1,600, and it's a great motorcycle. I can move around every single place I want and even go outside the city, and it works perfectly fine. On contrary, according to Kel Cannon, you can buy a new car for around $16,000, and a used car you can get it for around like $7,000. While also, not only this, motorcycle parts are also more cheap. Therefore, the parts are smaller, are easier to maintain. You can also do the maintenance yourself, and they're usually cheaper. And they're also quick to do all this process. For example, I also do my maintenance for my motorcycle. Sometimes, for example, tensing the chain, I do it by myself. I have all my materials and I do it by myself. This proves that motorcycles are better for cost efficiency because you can get a basic motorcycle and still do every single transporting that you need for the country and for the city and for congested areas and for rainy days, but just for less fraction of the money. Apart from this, after explaining all the cost efficiency, I also wanted to explain the efficiency in mobility. As I stated before, motorcycles are usually more used in cities. Therefore, cities, depending on the state that you live in, there is a permit that motorcycle can do lane splitting. Lane splitting is an act of motorcycles where cars are stopped at a red light. They can cruise along and swivel around the cars slowly to be on the front of the line. Depending on the state that you live, or the place or the country that you live, this is legal. Not every place is legal, therefore you should see your laws. But if your place is legal, according to Ari Kipurus, doing lane splitting can save you your commute time up to a 35%. Imagine that. But not only this, it also saves times on your commute time, but for your parking time, because we all know that motorcycles have an easier place to park. Motorcycles can park basically anywhere. They can't park on the sidewalk because that's illegal, but you can park next to the sidewalk if it's not stated that it should be illegal, because in some places they mark places that you can park. And also, there's no valet parking, there's no tickets for motorcycle, for illegal parking if you park well, and all that. Compared to a car, you can get a ticket for parking your car for a bit too long on a congested area. But this research also offered and corroborates my claim that motorcycle enhance your mobility by up to a 35%. Apart from this, motorcycles also give you a less carbon footprint. I mean, as Leo Hickman stated, motorcycles emit less carbon dioxide as an average car. But on the other hand, motorcycles do emit more hydrocarbons, nitrogen oxides, and carbon monoxide. But by that time, it was the rules of Euro 3. Euro 3 and Euro 1 is basically international European started it, but now it's international. A standard for carbon dioxide emission of combustion engines. By that time, in 2006, it left the Euro 3. But now we are in the Euro 5, and basically motorcycle has decrease the carbon footprint and emitting all this excessive gases up to a 45%. This is a crazy amount of emission that a motorcycle emit less than before. And also, apart from this, we just don't have to think about carbon emission of gases. We also have to think about the needs and the resources that it should be for a car to create it itself. For example, to create a Tesla, you need big amount of resources and big amount of energy. While in a motorcycle, since it's smaller and a bit simpler, you just need less resources and factories to create this piece of transformation. In other words, your carbon footprint decreases a lot. It is evident that the evidence of a motorcycle having a less carbon footprint is smaller than the cars. Even though motorcycles generate more carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and other gases, depending on according to the Euro 5, motorcycles emit 40% less than they did before. And now, apart from that, motorcycles also have smaller parts and their factories take less part. And in addition, motorcycles use less fuel. They have a better MPG, in other words, miles per gallon. That means that they use less gallons of gasoline per mile. For example, my motorcycle gives me around 33 kilometers for just 600 pesos. And I'm doing this for like a 2.6 gallon of gasoline. In contrary, a car will give you, for like 600 pesos, will give you like 100 kilometers. And we can see a big comparison that gasoline is a limited source of energy, while motorcycles have a better MPG and is usually better for the environment, because we all know that fossil fuels are a limited source of the earth. And finally, to wrap it up, motorcycles, as stated on the beginning, they give you this exhilarating feeling of freedom. According to Harley Davidson, just 20 minutes of riding a motorcycle can give you 28% reduction of an overall person's stress level. This is a big amount of numbers. We're talking about 28% of stress reduction. I've lived this through. I'm a living proof of this, because I also, before I had my motorcycle, I was very stressed. But after I got my motorcycle, my stress levels decreased a lot for some special reason of this exhilarating feeling of emotion. And not only that, this association called the Distinguished Gentleman Ride, it's an organization that it raises money to do research for prostate cancer and men's mental health. They do this fundraising by doing annual motorcycle rides around the globe, and they raise money to get all the research done for this issues. It is obvious that riding motorcycles give you a similar and unique feeling of liberty. It's basically like a bicycle, but this time it's faster. And it's remarkable that transportation is being combined with the pleasure of physical experiences and positive emotions. In conclusion, owning a motorcycle has several benefits. First of all, you have a better cost efficiency. You have a moving transportation for less amount of money. Second of all, you decrease your carbon footprint. Third of all, you enhance your mobility in congested area, having to commute usually to 10 minutes, depending on how far it is you're to the place. And finally, motorcycle give you a huge amount of relief and stress, and in this feeling of liberty and being able to connect with nature and all its part. The benefit of owning a motorcycle has been underlined in this presentation, including how economical they are, including how it moves you around easier, and how flexible and affordable they are. After my talk, I would really like to see everybody go out and buy a motorcycle and put everything that I said into practice. Thank you a lot.